I was still absolutely optimistic as I could be. Jeff, who had actually already sailed the Northwest Passage, was less keen. He was getting really fed up with the machine. So he was dog paddling along to show how slow it was going to be going. And he was not convinced it was going to make it. But hey, optimism gets you through, and I was going to be as optimistic as possible. And then it stopped. And there was a scream of fire from the engine room.
We were in the front pod, and all of a sudden we heard screaming from Norm, and there was a fire in the engine room. They shut off the engine, fortunately really quickly. Smoke came billowing out, and we're stopped right here, balanced in between. We got out, and the arm that we're so worried about connecting the two vehicles together is cracked very badly at the back, and there's quite a controversy going on between our Russian people and the Arctos people, whether it should be welded here or taken further.
No, won't repair.
Yeah, here.
Sit down.
He just wants to go.
Yeah. Okay. Now.
But being in the Soviet Union, or Russia as it generally just was, is an extraordinary knowledge of what you can actually do. And it wasn't long before they'd put a complete welding machine in. They'd sent mechanics out from Labrentia into the middle of this nowhere. And we went back to Labrentia so that we could get some rest, whilst the Russian teams were brought in to sort it out and fix it up. Doc Ford was pretty convinced we'd never make it.
Just look at this place. We're only 2 kilometres out into the Bering Straits. This place looks like hell. These guys are absolutely knackered. They've been in that thing for 5 days, and Bruce still wants to go on. They're absolutely shattered. They cannot go any further. This is no joke, and I don't know how we're going to do it. You just look at those ice formations, and you look at that ridge out there, and you just think, this is no game. It's not a game for an airfix toy. No way.
And here we are at the very, very tip of the mainland of Siberia or Russia.
It's been a frustrating day. We got up at 4. We set out at 5, turned right to go across straight to the Diomedes, and within 200 yards we were stuck and stopped. And we had to winch it out. We've been winching it out for 90 minutes. The ice is so thin for this vehicle. You can walk on it. You can walk to the Diomedes today, but I don't know what we're going to do with this vehicle.
I think this machine is having a lot of difficulty handling these conditions, sinking, and Doc's just gone through the ice as well, so he's not best pleased. It's not looking very good at all. Very, very bad.
Could do tiny bits. And there we are, hiking to the coast, but out of where we needed to turn sharply to the east and head out towards America, which is only 26 miles away.
The ice conditions here are just too marginal for it, I think. It looks pretty insurmountable at this point. The ice this year is really thin. It's been a warm winter, and that was the one thing I've always wanted to avoid in this whole thing, is thin ice. You can will something to happen, and you can put your best efforts into it, and you throw all the sort of engineering efforts into it that you can have, but at some point you have to say, that's it. And I think we're getting close to that point.
The ice conditions today are different from the ice conditions yesterday.
Yeah.
There's more open water, the ice is thinner. It's very different from other years.
Yeah.
But we have come, in the day we went to get across, less than 3 kilometres in more than 3 hours. And today is perfect. Breath of wind.
Gorgeous day.
And I think that today is a day when we could actually get across. So my view is that we ought to, of course, try for a little bit longer, because we always keep trying. But that by mid-afternoon we'd probably decide that we will, all of us, walk across the date line.
And I suppose this was the saddest part of my whole time on the dreaming about the project and doing it, knowing that we were not going to reach the summit, having climbed, if you like, to the very, very top of the mountain. but not that final 100 yards.
It's got a big hole in the puncture on the bottom of the front compartment, which is leaking so much water when it's in the water that they can't pump it out with 2 bilge pumps. It's got 2 big slits in the back compartment and a slit at the back of the front. And now, very sadly, both Duncan and Bruce know it can't go any further. So it's tried hard. In fact, it's never been in conditions like it. It won't work. So I think this really is the end of the outsource. So what we'll do now is go across in the helicopter, get on to the next bit of real land, and then drive all the way to New York, as we said we would, with a hole in the middle, which is just 50 miles. So it's very disappointing. But the truth is it can't go any further. And the truth is it's irresponsible. We gave it every shot we could. It's gone.
So the best we could do was to get helicoptered out from the mainland of Russia to an island right in the middle of the Bering Straits, only 28 miles away, nothing, called Big Diomede. And Big Diomede is less than a mile or 2 away from Little Diomede, which is the American island.
"12 minutes after 8 p.m. on the 17th, is it?
Yeah, because the 18th over there.
Okay.
17th here.
So here it's the 18th.
Here and tomorrow.
I'm in tomorrow and it's 5:15 in the afternoon and it's the 18th, Friday the 18th of March.
Here, come on over and give yourself 21 hours.
Okay.
21 hours, right there. A whole new day.
Yeah.
I think we'll just forget about yesterday.
Yeah.
And we walked from Russia into America. And there's a tiny village called Little Diomede, an American village with an American school and Pepsi Cola and hamburgers. And the next morning, we flew from a tiny ice strip which is only open for about 2 months a year. Usually you have to get by helicopter. We flew another 28 miles across the American side of the Bering Straits, looking down at what I was so convinced that we would have crossed.
It was good to walk across, and I'm really pleased we did that. Really, really pleased we did that. I look forward to seeing the team very shortly and get on with it. Look forward, not back. That's the whole. That's what we've been doing the whole time.
Hi. How are you?
And for the first time we had Western food. But the people who gave it to us, these great, great families, their relatives were exactly the same people who lived on the other side of the Bering Strait, Siberian Yuppies.
It feels really good to be back as a team, isn't it?
I must admit, that's the best. I've been looking forward to that for ages.
As I've said to these guys from week 2, all our team, that I think the best part of this whole journey is going to be Alaska. Let's go! Let's go!
And the team were actually very, very excited. It was a real expedition. This was not having people drive them or tow them. This was people on their own snow machines going across unknown territory.
We're on our way again at last, after 10 days in Nome. So I'm just looking forward to getting ahead and getting this bit done and getting to Fairbanks and then really being together with the mechanics as well.
And I've never spent so long on a snowmobile and I will probably never spend so long again on a snowmobile. But it's good fun, good fun.
It's good to be in charge of your own route, really. Where you're going, you do what you want. Although I'm not so sure being on the skidoo with Marielle, I don't think I'm going to get to Fairbanks. We're doing our own bit.